Hello, Kate here, mynaturalhappiness.com, Reading School of Reiki, creator of the Seeds of Change program, helping you go from hamster to happiness. I hope you're well, and I hope you're having the most amazing Easter holidays if you're getting to enjoy some of it. And I hope that you had the most amazing Easter and enjoyed having a restful weekend. So I have had the most amazing time. Let's check that. The most amazing time. My nephew's been staying, and so we've been out and about, seen things. I'm very blessed to be in a job where I could work every other day this week to just, get to spend time with family, which at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Working to live rather than living to work, as I used to do. So my quandaries of the week have been having discussions with my nephew as to who would win in a fight between Wonder Woman and Batman. Clearly it's Wonder Woman, however he struggled to understand that concept, so we had a long discussion about that. It's Wonder Woman, right? Is it just me, or is it Wonder Woman? Anyway, so it's been a wonderful week of just appreciating the simpler things in life, which has been wonderful. So as always, I pulled out a card for the week for those watching the video, and it's so wonderful because I got the 7 of Summer. Summer is coming. Summer is coming. There you go. 7 of Summer with a beautiful rainbow. The sun shining, the snow finally appearing to have left our shores. It's wonderful. No more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from over-analysing the options. This is so true, actually, because I remember when I made actually, there's been a few times in my life when I've made decisions that seem to be huge, massive decisions. The stress of making the decision has often been worse than what happens after I've made the decision, if that makes any sense. So, for example, when I decided to go, whenever I changed jobs and when I decided to finally make the leap and go from being full-time employed to full-time self-employed, as I am now, it seemed like a massive decision, and I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And actually, when I look back, the stress of making that decision, that stressful time of, is it the right thing? And, how will I pay the bills? And will the world stop turning? All the rest of it. Actually, it's been a few years now and still paying bills, and the world hasn't stopped. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's right for everyone, it's just my experience. But whatever decisions that you're making, sometimes the stress of actually trying to make the decision is more stressful than the outcome of whichever path you choose when you're making those decisions. So that really resonated. I was actually only thinking about that yesterday, and how there's people who I know and love. There's a couple of people who I know and love who are in the throes of making life-changing decisions, personally and professionally. And both of them seem to be struggling more with the stress of making that decision. So I was actually, funnily enough, only thinking about this yesterday. If you are watching this video and you are struggling with a decision, sending you a massive hug, because it can be a very, very, very stressful time. So what does the card say? There are pros and cons to virtually every decision. The situation that you're currently in is demanding a choice from you. And procrastination, excuse me, I haven't had much sleep this week. And procrastinate, that's not true, I have had sleep, but I've also been very active. And procrastination is simply no longer an option. What you decide involves actions that may benefit you physically, emotionally, financially, intellectually, or spiritually. Recognizing that you always have a choice is a great realization about your personal power. However, it also means that you are responsible for the outcome of your choices. The moment to choose has arrived. You could make a list of every possible alternative and evaluate it, or you could ask God and your angels for guidance. But the time to choose is now. Daydreaming can be a lovely way to get insight into a challenging situation, or it can be a way to avoid taking action. So true. Make sure that your imaginings serve a productive and positive purpose. Make a plan to put your dreams into action, one step at a time. A fairy allows sunlight to shine through a prism onto a bed of white roses. This is the card. The roses indicate that his intentions are pure, but the prism shows that there are many possibilities. Additional meanings of this card: wishful thinking, needing to regain focus, over-analysing, too many choices, receiving guidance to detox. That could be true, but most people after the chocolate eggs that perhaps we consumed a bit too much of. I personally have avoided going into Co-op up until now because they had Thornton's chocolate bunnies for £2. I did not buy one. My resolve has not been that strong, so I'm avoiding going in until they've sold out. So receiving guidance to detox may resonate with a few people. So yeah, it's interesting. So just remember that sometimes the stress of actually making the decision can be more stressful than actually making the decision and taking action. So 7 of Summer, no more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from over-analysing the options. That's our card for the week for those watching the video. So I hope that speaks to you. Hugs if you are in a situation where you're trying to make decisions. Hugs if the receiving guidance to detox has resonated with you, because that has with me after all the chocolate, and that's quite scary in itself. But anyway, have the most amazing week. I hope that you continue to enjoy the spring that is finally here, and I will see you next week. Let me know what you think of this card. With so much love, Kate, mynaturalhappiness.com, Reading School of Reiki, helping you go from hamster towards happiness. And creator of the Seeds of Change program. I love the Seeds of Change program. It's amazing. So anyway, have the most amazing week, and I will look forward to speaking to you next week with so much love. Have a great week.